for wintertime today. So I'm thinking I'm going to tell you all a wintertime story and see if maybe it'll cool us off just a little bit. Hey, it's worth a try anyway, isn't it?
Hey.
Actually, this is going to be a Wyoming wintertime story because a Wyoming cowboy by the name of Bob Jones wrote this story, and he called it Jake and the Rancher's Prayer. Now, I would say that the story of this moral would have to, the moral of this story would have to be something like, pray early and pray often. Well, Jake the rancher went one day to fix a distant fence. The wind was cold and gusty, and the clouds rolled gray and dense. As he pounded the last staples in and gathered his tools to go, the temperature had fallen and the snow began to blow. When he finally reached his pickup, he felt a heavy heart at the sound of that ignition. He knew it wouldn't start. So Jake did what most of us would do if we'd have been there. He humbly bowed his balding head and sent aloft a prayer. As he turned the key for the last time, he softly cursed his luck. They found him 3 days later, frozen stiff in that old truck. Now, Jake had been around in life and done his share of roaming. But when he first saw heaven, why, it looked just like Wyoming. Of all the saints in heaven, his favorite was St. Peter. Now, that line really ain't needed, but it helps with rhyme and meter. So they sat and talked a spell or two, or maybe it was 3. Nobody was a-keeping score. In heaven, time is free. I've always heard, said Jake to Pete, that God will answer prayer. But once when I asked for help, well, he just plain wasn't there. Does God answer the prayers of some and ignore the prayers of others? To me, that don't seem hardly square. I know all men are brothers. Or does he randomly reply without good rhyme or reason? Could be the time of day, the weather, or the season. Now, I ain't just trying to act smart, it's just the way I feel, and I was wondering, could you tell me, what the heck's the deal? Well, St. Peter listened very patiently until Jake was done, and then, with smiles of recognition, he said, "So, you're the one. That day your truck wouldn't start and you sent your prayer a-flying, you gave us all a real bad time, with hundreds of us a-trying. 1,000 angels rushed to check the status of your file. But you know, Jake, we hadn't heard from you in quite a while. And though all prayers are answered, and God ain't got no quota, he didn't recognize your voice and started a truck in South Dakota." Thank you.